Well, I'm finally about to get to those 3-to-1 pulley systems I've been talking about in some previous segments. As I move into this segment, I want you to keep this in mind. What I'm talking about is specifically how to get mechanical advantage from rope and pulleys. Not about secure, safe, rescue caliber methods of attaching pulleys to ropes or anything of that. So I just want you to be sure that we all understand this is not about rescue operations. It's not about lifting heavy loads. These are simply some mock-up, if you will, applications of how we might apply rope and pulley. If you're going to use any of these things, rope and pulley mechanical advantage systems, it of course is going to be up to you to determine the safety and how much safety factor you need, and each component that goes into it, how it plays a part in that safety margin. So having said that, we're going to look at a couple of 3-to-1 mechanical advantage systems, and the first one's just going to be a simple block and tackle. It doesn't look much like a block and tackle because it's only a 3-to-1 and you don't have the double pulleys. But let me zoom out here a bit and we'll take a look at this. Okay, here's our first pulley system. You may recognize this. I'm sure you've seen it before. It's just a simple pulley system. I have a termination on this carabiner. The rope then runs around through the anchor pulley, back through this pulley, and I've just got it all secured with a safety knot. Again, I'm not recommending this as a way to secure a block and tackle. I just don't want it to fall to the ground, so I'm just using that as kind of a keeper. Maybe just a word about why I'm using 2 carabiners here and 2 back here. I wanted this oriented this way, and without that second carabiner it tends to orient this way and you can't see it very well. So there's no magic or anything about that. It's just to orient this so we can see it better. I do want to start with how I've connected to the rope, and the scenario I'm addressing here is I either want to put tension in this haul line or a high line or whatever it might be, or I want to pull a load up with this line. But as I get into this, bear in mind what I said earlier. I'm not recommending this. This is not about how to safely attach things. This is about how block and tackles and mechanical advantage with rope and pulleys work exclusively. If you want to rescue somebody, take a course. If you want to be a rigger and rig up systems, take a course. This is just about mechanical advantage. That'll be useful, but it is certainly not a qualifier for any of the things I've mentioned. Always be safe, be sure of your components. So let's take a look at how I've attached this, and I will say just a bit about that. Okay, let's take a look at how I've connected this. I've got my pulley that is applied to the load connected, and again through some orientation carabiners. Here's my connection to this rope, and again what I'm trying to do is put tension in this rope or pull up a load with this rope. And this is a way to connect a pulley system to a rope. It is a way. Bear in mind, again, I'm not talking about rescue things that are going to make this thing rescue suitable, but I will mention some things simply to illustrate there's a lot more to it than just pulley systems when you start talking about real applications. This is a 3-route prusik. This is 11 millimeter PMI rope. This is 8 millimeter prusik cord. In rescue work, you would have a second prusik up here, about 4 finger lengths from this one, tied in here actually to the pulley, of course, through 1 carabiner, not 2. And they work together to give us extra protection. But remember, this is not about how to rescue. It's not about how to lift heavy loads. It's about how block and tackle systems work. In some typical ways, they are hooked to a rope to make that happen. As for the pulley system, the mechanical advantage part of this, as I explained earlier, we've just got a 3-to-1 system. Let me show you the lines just for clarity. We have 1, 2, 3 lines supporting the load. So when I pull, I have a 3 to 1. So whatever I pull with here, I've got 3 times that up here. Now, notice I'm having to hold this because if I turn it loose, my load falls. So we're going to look at shortly how we capture this progress as we pull it in, so we can turn this loose, slide this up, and kind of get another bite. That's called a reset, and then pull more in. So we'll look at that a little bit later.